Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Punched Out Thursday, and I'm going to have relatively simple and very small punches on this page, but hopefully altogether it'll have a fairly big impact. And I've lost one of my punches. There we go. I've got two of them here. Let me pull stuff off to the side and kind of see where we're going with this. I am still using my June Mind the Scrap kit, which I picked up in person in Bristol when I was in the UK in June. And it has just arrived at my house yesterday in my long-lost suitcase that was shipped back. And so I'm using that kit to scrap the Bristol stories, the Bristol photos. So that I'm doing that again. And this time it's photos of food and drink. So after going on a little sightseeing tour with Emma and John, we went back to Emma's house and Claire Thomas came over, and then later we picked up Lillian and we went to Portishead, and Jenny and Sue joined us, having driven over from Wales. So I mean, it, you know, to someone in the US, it sounds really cool for them to have driven over from, you know, another country, but it was really just across the bridge from where we had been that morning, actually, I think. So anyway, the sketch I'm using is this one by Sikorski Scraps. I don't think I've done this one before. It's got a square, on the background, it's got a square on top of another background sheet. So I have made my square out of one of the papers, and then I backed it with black cardstock. And I'm going to use this paper. The paper that I'm using here on the top is Simply Summer by Fancy Pants. And the floral paper is from Let's Get Crafty by Simple Stories. So I'm going to scooch those into the recycle bin, and I'm gonna lay this down and we'll see how close we can get to the sketch without going over. So let's see if that looks like it's approximately where we want it to be. Let me kind of do this and line it up with the 2-inch mark both ways. That's about as close as I can get without spending time measuring. So now I have two punches. One makes the little fishtail banner and the other makes a triangle flag that's scalloped. And I'm going to cut or punch from, these were some cut aparts from a cut apart sheet that we got in the kit. And I'm gonna punch all the way around on here, getting, these are honeycombs, so there are some lines across, and I'm getting the lines going every which way. And that's by intent. And I'm gonna string these up on some black and white twine and make a draped banner. And I'm gonna cut the, I'll alternate the little, these little flags with the banners. Okay, that's all I'm going to do out of that. And I'm going to get some of these, the fishtail shapes out of this color. Pink. And I'm not counting particularly. I'm just going to go to the end of the sheet and that's going to be it. Okay. Now I'm going to put that in there. And before I place the photos, well, actually, let's not say that. I'm going to place the, I'll do the photos. The photos are going to be kind of like that. And I'm going to overlap these. That's my, I think that was my first fish and chips meal. And when Adam had ordered fish and chips in Liverpool a day or two before, he had gotten mushy peas, and I'd never heard of mushy peas. And so I had a taste of his, but that's my first whole order of mushy peas. So it was a banner kind of a day. So I'm gonna do, it was something to write home about. And I'm gonna overlap this. This is ephemera. I love this. It looks like layered papers. It's ephemera, and then I layered some more ephemera on top of it that says good food, good mood. And then I have my journaling there. And I've got this photo up on a piece of foam. I dropped something on the floor a while ago. When I went to get it, lo and behold, I found that sheet of foam. Okay, there. And now I'm gonna maybe go, well, in the picture, it kind of looks like it's draped all along there. So why don't I just do that with my twine? I'm gonna cut it so that it has a little tail hanging down. Let's see, I'll do that. Have it kind of like that. That's a little bit too low. And I'm gonna staple it at the ends just for a little bit different kind of look. Okay, I think my stapler will reach over there. It will. So there's that. Then I'll go here. It goes better this way. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it back around. I have some flare out, and we'll kind of see what we end up doing with that. I've lifted these things up enough so that I should be able to get some flare underneath. So now I'm going to take a bit of this foam and I'm going to cut it down the center. and then cut little pieces off to put under the banner pieces. And we'll just start putting those on. And I'm going to start with one of the yellow guys. That's a little bit, I need to cut my foam a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to kind of stick it let's see. That's okay right there. And I'm just gonna alternate, and I should have started in the center. What did I do with that little piece I had? Here it is. I might lose it if I'm not careful. This is not going to be the most sophisticated punching you'll ever see on a layout. I'm going to put something right down here, and I'm going to put a little dab of glue right under there so that that kind of stays in place. And hopefully it'll come out so that that will end up there. If not, we'll punch some more of something. And I'm not going to put them right up next to each other. Kind of go like that. And I've pulled out what I think are colors that are in the background paper, and if they're not exact, they're close enough to give that look. And it doesn't bother me that this is a little bit redder than the pinks that you see in here, because we've got the red in this photo. I had kind of allocated myself, agreed with myself that I would have a beer in an authentic English pub, and it wasn't authentic in terms of being, you know, dark and on an old road or anything. It wasn't a Midsummer Murders kind of pub, but it was a nice little pub with a very friendly bartender who gave me samples of the beer, or Lil, as for samples. Lil knows the place. It's right very near her house, and it was just great. Okay, and I'm gonna do, the spacing isn't exactly right, but I'm gonna space the yellow over on the other side just as close as that one was. And it was, I don't know, it was just a magical night. We finished our dinner and then went over to went and got a seat outside by the marina, and then went into the pub and got some libations, and I don't know, we sat out and talked and laughed, and I've known these girls for years. We've scrapped together virtually, and Emma has just built a really nice team around her kit club, her kits, and I guess it seemed like we'd known each other for years, and that's because we had, but it was the first time we'd met in person. So it was really nice. And I felt like I'd known Emma forever. I first saw her scrapbook work in Load. She used to do all the Load challenges even before I was in Load. And she mentioned Mind the Scrap one day in the journaling of one of her photos. And I looked it up, I Googled it and found that it was a kit club, and I asked her if she would consider sending to the US because I had been to I'd seen one of her kit reveals, and it was just brilliant, just what she did, how she mixed the colors, and it's just brilliant. She's great, and just a lovely person as well. So we've got our banner, and it's all up there. Now let's look at some other embellishments here. I've got my ephemera from Sweet Rush around, and the florals are not, the same. They're not from the same collection. I've got some extra little bits here, and I could use those. How about I just put a little bit of glue on these and use them maybe at the bottom of these, and I'll overlap. I should have used them on the other side. Let's see, I can overlap those right there. Let's see what else I've got. I've got 3 of the little triangles. So the triangles could maybe go up here. So let's do that. And right there. And I'll put this one there. And it's just amazing how you can use punches and die cuts just to kind of really add variety to your pages. And you can just, you just make your own embellishments. I'm trying to fit that third one in there, and I'm not doing it. I'm going to make it part of a cluster somewhere else. I want to add some florals because there were some beautiful flowers around. If I did this, I could maybe even cover up those. Let's go with that. cover up the glasses. That's not an important or critical part of the photo there, and it kind of draws attention to the fish and chips. This one I'm going to kind of tuck under. I want to bend it and kind of get a little bit of dimension there. It's not the same florals as these, but they're close enough, and the colors are so compatible that, how about that? That actually, I kind of like the overlapping better than the underlapping. So there we go. And then I'll kind of bend these similarly to kind of get that look. Okay, so I have this polka dot flare, which has all the colors in the background, and it's just so pretty. So I'm gonna kind of tuck it in right here and maybe do this, well, I might do this on one of the other flares. I've got this pink and white striped flare, and since I'm really trying to emphasize that pink, I kind of like it. So I can put it right there. And for some reason, to me, putting the stripes vertically that way makes it look a little, I don't know, nautical is maybe the word I'm looking for. So let me kind of get a little bit of glue there. And I'm gonna see if maybe I can, there we go. Kind of have it sticking up from good food. And I'll curve it up so that there's a little dimension there. And now, I've used everything I punched. I have another flare here that's a geotag, and it's in that same green that's in these leaves, and it works with this leaf too. So I'm going to put it there. And I think because of the flowers on the rest of the page, I think that's about all I need in the way of like floral ephemera. But there may be some phrase pieces. There's some tickets. I just love this, and that becomes my title, that good food, good mood. There were maybe some kind of a tropical motifs, but I think I'm not going to use that there. Let me pull the Sweet Rush sticker book that came in the July kit. So I've got, I have this, which says, "Let the good times roll." And I wonder if I could run that. Across right here. Let me cut one of the "Let the Good Times Roll" off. And then I'll put it back here, and I'll use it as a single phrase sticker. And let me carefully measure this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue to get that down, but I'm not going to do that on camera. That's going to bother me if it doesn't stick there. I'm going to put that's about right there, and that looks like about the same distance there. If it isn't, I will add an embellishment of some sort. It's almost works. I've got it crooked though. It's not parallel with that border at the top, and that because it's black and the border's black, it really shows. So I think that straightened it out. And now I've got, I need jewels for the challenge, and I'm going to combine jewels, sequins, and the enamel dots that came in the kit. And so I'm going to take, I'm going to put a few like an enamel dot here. Let's go there. And then I'm going to do a jewel, a little jeweled heart, a piece of heart bling, and I'll curve it that way. And then I'm going to have a single sequin from the Strawberry Fields mix that I've been playing with for my last few layouts. I will be using some brand new sequin mixes as guest designer for Spiegel Mom Scraps this month. My first page will be out on the 14th. Okay, I'm going to do another little grouping like that. Maybe something right there, and right there, and right there. I don't know which will go where or what color. I think I'm going to go with I'm going to take the glue off right there and use one of the yellow, excuse me, I'm going to use an orange enamel dot. I'm going to do it right there where it bridges the, you know what? I'm going to take that off. Orange in proximity to black just is too close to Halloween. So I'm going to take this kind of minty teal color, that color, and use that right there. And the heart is going to go, whoops. Oh, come now. It's going to go here where there's just a little tiny bit of glue. And then I'm going to find one of the coppery sequins here. Kind of put that right there. And I think I'm done. It has journaling on it. Let's see. I have my string or twine, and it's right there. I can curve it down and get a little glue. That was too much glue, but I'll kind of stick it in there, and this one looks like it wants to be right there naturally. So that goes there. I don't think I'm going to I thought maybe I would do an enamel dot. I guess I can do that. Let's do that. We'll go with that same color of enamel dots, that kind of green color, and we'll put it right on top of the staple. as long as the staple's in the same place. Okay. It's not right on top of the staple, and so my idea is was not great because my staples are not in exactly the same place. But I can fix that. Let me do my little glue that I said I wasn't going to make you watch. I need to do it because I need that twine to stay in place for me to glue the enamel dot down. Come on. And I can work on perfecting that, but I need this to be kind of right smack there, and I'm going to have to push it down and mash the twine there to get it to stick. There we go. Now I can feed the twine in like that. This one is on there kind of crooked, so I'll straighten it up. Get that down there. Okay, close enough for government work. And so we've got black cardstock bunting. I used a sketch and some gems. So I'm happy with this. I hope you've enjoyed seeing just how a small amount of punching on a busy layout just adds a nice touch. So thanks for watching. Bye. I've got something going on here. I'm going to have to take the camera out and read it.